Welcome to the channel and welcome to this 2,000 point match play game between the Death Corp of Krieg and Tyranids. Today on the channel we're going to be fighting in and amongst this ruined industrial sector. The Death Corp of Krieg want to capture this site and the Tyranids want to cleanse this site of all life. But the Inquisition have also been raised. The Ordo Xenos have also been raised because they've heard of a terror from the deep. A swarm lord which has been given the codename Kevin. So they are also here along with some assassins to try and cut the head from the snake. 2,000 points match play game. Imperial Guard versus Tyranids. It's gonna be a bug hunt. And not only is it the Imperial Guard, it's the Death Corp of Krieg. These guys love a bug hunt. For them, it's Christmas, but it's not Christmas because if you believe in Christmas, then you're a heretic and will probably be shot by the Inquisition. 2,000 points match play game. Cleanse and capture. That's 3 cards a turn every turn. We're playing Search and Destroy. We rolled it out of the main rule book. I think the Tyranids are going to be over here. The Death Corp are rumbling into the battle grid on that side. As you can see, there's 6 objectives spread throughout the battle grid. Anyone on a terrain piece is going to count as in terrain, or inside one of these boxy areas here is going to count as terrain. And we're saying anything inside the footprint of one of these large ruined building structures will count as terrain as well. We'll get cover. And we welcome to the channel for the first time a new challenger. Say hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Thanks for coming down.
I'm glad to be here.
And you've got a gorgeous Death Corp army.
Well, thanks very much.
And you've been collecting it for how long now?
About 5 or 6 years, I'd say.
5 or 6 years, a labour of love. And you know Joe.
I do.
Because you appear on the Lookout Sir 40k podcast.
I do.
Which I've also been on as well.
Yeah, and that was probably our best episode.
Was it? Was it?
It was a good episode for sure.
Oh. Lookout Sir 40k podcast. Go and check it out with Dan and Joe. It's funny. They're a good bunch. You're a good bunch of boys.
Yeah, we're good lads.
Don't believe the rumours.
That's true.
And you've taken this to the GT. You've been up to Warhammer World a few times.
Oh, yeah.
And do you believe in the cult of sacrifice? Do you believe throwing yourselves into the blizzard of enemy guns?
It's the only way to do it.
It's the only way to do it, exactly. I mean, most Imperial Guardsmen, many Imperial Guardsmen are heroes, or you've got the Rambo type Catcherton stuff. But the Death Corp think those guys are pussies, basically.
Yeah, to put it mildly.
Anyone who ducks and covers, according to the Death Corp of Krieg, is someone who shouldn't be in the Guard. So, a couple of shout outs. This battle mat is from gamemat.eu. All this scenery actually is from gamemat.eu. And I keep getting told off, so I have to mention it now. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on stuff like that. Is Lookout Sir 40k on Instagram and Facebook and things?
It is, and if you want to see my stuff, I'm on Beyond the Tabletop.
Beyond the Tabletop, what's that? Is that on Instagram?
Yeah, so Instagram, YouTube, where I do like painting tutorials and conversion guides, and like on Facebook as well. Pretty much anywhere it could be, it is.
Anywhere it could be?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So I think we've covered everything. Have we covered everything?
I think so.
Okay, let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is 1999 points of Tyranids. It's Hive Fleet Kraken. Kraken roll 3d6 when they advance and pick the highest, and they can fall back and still charge. And I have a battalion and the one with all the heavies in it, which means I've got 9 command points. And Kevin is back. He has been reconstituted after his grievous injuries, and he will be returning. This is the Swarm Lord. He will not be my Warlord, even though he's a big boy with loads of swords and things like that. I always bring the Neurothrope along as my Warlord, and the Neurothrope has got chameleonic mutation and synaptic linchpin. So the synapse range of the Neurothrope is out to 18 inches, and chameleonic mutation means it's -1 to hit him if you shoot at him, her, it. It's a character, so it can't be targeted anyway, but if it can be targeted, -1 to hit. I like to think that it's not necessarily chameleonic, but it's when you try and point a sniper rifle at it, your eyes water and your ears bleed because the brain is warming away. That's the noise it makes. It's got Psychic Scream and Smite, so it's basically shooting out mind bullets all the time. The Broodlord's got Onslaught. So Broodlords and Gene Stealers can advance and charge, which is nasty in a Kraken list, because they move 8 plus 3d6, pick the highest, they can advance and charge. And I've given him the Psychic Power, which means he can chuck it on another unit, so that unit can advance and charge as well. And I do that because then I remember what Psychic Power he has, because he can do it anyway. But these, he can only cast 1, Neurothreat can cast 2, Swarmlord can cast 2 as well. And Kevin's got Catalyst and the Horror and Smite. He can cast 2 of those powers, and he's a beast. 4 up and vulnerable save, in close combat, 3 up and vulnerable save. This is the Death Corps though. They probably don't want to get in close combat with the Swarmlord. However, 1 or 2 of the Assassins might, because Assassins are crazy. Troop choices: Gene Stealers, 25 Termagants, 25 Termagants, 3 Warriors with Deathspitters, 6 Warriors with Deathspitters, and 2 with Venom Cannons. Because last time when I fought Joe from Lookout So 40k, I basically after that fight I went out and got Warriors with Deathspitters because I thought I needed some more Daka. He had plenty of Daka, so it's your friend's fault.
I'll be blaming him later, basically. I'll be having words.
Yeah. Then we've got 2 shock troops. We have a Hive Crone. That's the one with the flamer, dual cannon, and it fires tentaclids, which can hurt vehicles, do mortal wounds to vehicles, basically 1 or D3, but it hits on 4s. It typically does 1 or a couple of mortal wounds to vehicles if it shoots at them. But it's a shock troop because even though it is has the fly keyword, it is not an aircraft. It just moves very, very quickly and can assault tanks, for example. So it can get there quickly and tag stuff or tie stuff up. And the Morlock, of course, bursting up from underground. It's not very good. It's got many attacks, but they only do 1 damage and they're OP dash. So it's not very good in close combat, but what it does is, again, burst up from underground, close to enemy units, and can potentially do mortal wounds to them. So they're shock troops. They are to rain confusion in the back line. And rain confusion in the front line are 2 Screamer Killers. Screamer Killers have a natural -1 to hit, because those chimney stacks out of their back bellow out spore clouds. So they're just a natural -1 to hit as they barrel forward, Miley Cyrus, aka wrecking balling their way up the table. And then 2 monster tanks. 1 Tyrannofex with acid spray, 1 Tyrannofex with a rupture cannon. This is a backfield sit and shoot type unit. This is a move up the table and spurt acid all over the place type unit. So it's a real mixed list. This is normally the point when I say, right, in my Tyranid list, this is what I tried to do. I tried to bring a bit of this to make this happen and this, but I didn't. In this occasion, I wanted to bring Kevin and I wanted to bring a mixed list. So I've got some shooty, I've got some disruption, I've got loads of little bugs and some psychers up the front. Just a general nice mixed list. That was the idea. Maybe the Tyranids have been caught slightly off guard and didn't exactly expect the Death Corps to suddenly smash down on the planet with their Inquisition and Assassin allies. Talking about the good guys, let's go and have a look. Right, this is 1998 points of Death Corps, 1 point less than me, you've lost already. It's Death Corps with Imperial allies. It's 10 command points because of all the stuff, but you spent 2 already.
Yes.
And the special rule for the Death Corps of Krieg, for those that don't know, is these guys don't take morale when you shoot at them. They just don't care. When you're a member of the cult of sacrifice, the greatest honor, the greatest thing that could happen to you in your life is to die on the battlefield, screaming the Emperor's name. I love the Death Corps. So what are we looking at? Who's your warlord?
So my warlord is the Marshal that
Nice.
we've got down here.
Yes.
He's got a warlord trait of Old Grudges. So before the battle begins, I select one of your units, and everyone within 6 inches of him gets to reroll failed wound rolls.
All failed wound rolls?
Yeah.
Are you going to be targeting Kevin?
I'll think about it. I'll wait till we deploy and then work out what I might be shooting at.
I would target. And who's this chap with him?
So he's the Death Rider commander.
Yep.
He's leading the horses that I've got. He's got the Relic Power Sword, which is the Blade of Conquest. It gives you +2 to your strength, -4 AP and D3 damage.
-4 AP.
Yes, it's pretty crazy.
That's a nice sword he's got there. Okay, what else? Where are we going?
So, in terms of the units, I've
Yeah.
got 3 standard infantry squads, all armed with lasguns.
Yep.
They also come with crack and frag grenades as standard for Krieg.
Yeah.
Then I've got my sort of slightly more elites, but they're still troops. They're the grenadier squads.
Yeah.
They've got hotshot lasguns and 1 melter. And then at the back, we've got the engineers, which are the elite choice, and they are armed with Caracas shotguns.
And then these guys are a specific Death Corp of Krieg slot, aren't they?
Yes.
They got lovely shotguns and stuff.
Yeah, they're pretty tasty when you can get them within range.
Yeah. And the Cyclops is basically a rolling bomb.
Yes, it's pretty nasty if I can get in range and blow it up.
Yeah. Can I shoot that thing?
Yes, you can.
You're allowed to.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a character of any kind.
No.
It's quite easy. It's a good destruction unit, turn 1, because normally people try and take it off the board.
What is it? Toughness 4, many wounds?
Oh, I think it's toughness 6 actually, but I
Is
have to
it?
double check. It might be toughness 5 actually.
If it's a rolling box of adamantium, it's probably quite tough. With a bunch of wounds, and then it gets there and goes kaboom.
Yes, basically.
Yeah, nice. Tanks and things. Tank commanders?
Yes, so 2 tank commanders. The one on the right has the relic battle cannon from Vigilus.
This one?
Yes, that's the one. And
Nice.
he's got a pintle-mounted Stormbolter, which you can see I've mounted it as a kind of coax gun on the side of the cannon.
Yep.
Obviously with a las cannon.
Yep.
Then I've got the Punisher tank commander. So Punisher cannon, heavy stubber, heavy bolter on the front, and plasma cannon sponsons.
Plasma cannon sponsons. Nice. I like the fact that this guy is the only guy with the sponsons, because these guys at the back, sticking to the Death Corps narrative here.
Yeah, so
Keeping
these
away
are just
from
the
the sponsons.
regular Lehman Russes, and they're the only 2 that get the Krieg Lehman Russ special rule, which is the Mars Alpha pattern hull.
Yep.
So if you attack them with a strength 4 or less weapon, I get +1 to my save.
Yeah, so strength 4 weaponry against these tanks, such as my flesh borers. Not only will they be toughness 8 tanks, but they'll have a 2-up save. They basically turn into land raiders versus strength 4.
Yeah, basically.
I love it. Hellhounds?
Yes, 2 standard Hellhounds.
Standard stuff.
Yeah, with track guards and heavy flame on the front.
Yeah, what do the track guards do?
So no matter what their wound profile is, they still move at their top speed.
Nice. And
So it's
Hellhounds
quite
are pretty
handy.
pretty nippy anyway, right?
Yeah, it's 12-inch move. And then,
12?
I think it's 16-inch range on the flamer.
Oh dear. Okay, so yeah, these are going to cook some bugs.
Let's hope so.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It smells like victory. Okay, we have an Inquisitor who is using the Eisenhorn rules. I take it you've read Eisenhorn and Ravenau.
Yes, they're pretty fantastic books.
Yeah,
That's
for
all I-
anyone out there who wants an introduction to 40k Black Library reading and doesn't know where to start with Eisenhorn, then go to Ravenau. It is epic. So you're using the rules for Eisenhorn for her and the rules for Cherubel for the Demon Host.
Yes.
Does she have a name?
Yes, it's Lady Eleanor Greyhorn.
Lady Eleanor Greyhorn. I love it. And she's got some buddies coming along, some acolytes.
Yeah, just 3 acolytes. Each one is an individual unit.
Yep.
They've got the needle pistol and a chainsaw each.
3 assassins.
Yep, pretty much come as you see them.
Yeah, we've got the crazy death screaming nutter, and then the sniper that always misses or doesn't wound.
Yeah.
Who's this one? I forget.
It's the Calidus. Yes, because the Caluxus is the Psycho one. I always get those 2 mixed up. Though.
Yeah. And then Death Corp of Krieg, Death Riders.
Yes, so at the front I've got the Death Rider Commissar,
Yeah.
and then I've got the Death Rider Command Squad, which allows all my Death Riders to outflank.
Does that include the Commissar?
Yes, because I think it's 4 units you can outflank with the squad.
Yeah.
And then at the very back there's a regular just 5-man squad.
Okay. And as we were talking earlier, don't be confused. Don't think these things are normal horses. Horses in the Warhammer 40k universe aren't really horses. These are template, stamp-pressed, gene-bred killing machines. Imagine a massive Shire horse on acid. That's what these things are. And that's why you paint them all the same colour, right?
Yep, because they're basically vat-grown, all coming out the factory,
Yeah.
looking exactly the same.
Exactly the same. All exactly the same. One after the other. And they are very, very angry. Don't feed one an apple, they'll bite your head off. They will charge forward into a barrage of guns. The charge of the Light Brigade for these is a Tuesday, basically. So, Death Corps. all over the place. Lovely, beautiful army, love it. Here to take on Kevin and the Tyranids, here to capture this site away from the Xenos Horde. Because Eisenhorn, she's Eleanor, sorry.
Yeah, Eleanor Greyhound.
She's Xenos, Auto Xenos, right?
Yes, which is reroll 1 to hit and wounds against effectively a Xenos race, Xenos faction.
Nice. And a Psyker as well. So we have some nice characters. We've got some cultists. They are cultists. It's the cult of sacrifice.
The Imperium cultists.
The Imperial cultists. They're good guy cultists. The Death Corps have never, ever, not one regiment in their thousands of years of history ever turned traitor or ever reneged their vows. They're one of the few Imperial Guard units out there that are allowed to combined arms. They're allowed to field combined arms. They're loyal beyond repute. Love them. Brilliant stuff. Let's go on to deployment. And we're deployed for this 2,000 point game of cleanse and capture. The way it goes is I put down a unit, Phil put down a unit backwards and forwards, and he who dropped first can choose whether they want to go first unless there's a seize, and I managed to get my stuff down way in advance of Phil. So what we're looking at here is there's an objective way over here, so I've stuck a unit of warriors on it. In case that comes up, it may never come up, but they're there anyway. And as there's a couple of assassins in reserve that can pop up somewhere and potentially disrupt my back lines, then keeping them back there is pretty good. And then the rupture cannon T-Fex is here because that was the best sort of line of sight thing. Now we're doing search and destroy deployment, so it was kind of painful for you.
A little bit, because I want to spread out to get objectives, but
yeah.
At the same time I also want to hide back as far away from your men as possible.
Yeah, search and destroy made it a little bit painful, but it also made it a little bit good because again, if we just did Dawn of War, I would have had more room to maneuver this way. For example, the Kevin and the Broodlord and the Gene Stealers are here ready to spring round. Sometimes these guys can get a first turn charge off, but it's going to be unlikely because it's search and destroy deployment. And again, round here, I can zip round that way or go straight up the middle. It's made it very interesting, and these huge line of sight block and train pieces here and there also have made it very interesting. We're saying any piece of terrain, just to make it simple, like these guys are in cover. Imagine that they've put some sandbags up there as well. So any piece of terrain will give you cover. These pipes, these are here for show to make the board look pretty, so they're not going to stop the Cyclops, for example, rumbling over them or rumbling underneath them when it starts to move forward. You've got a flame attack here and a flame attack there. Remember, these things can move quick, they can shoot a long way, and they will just turn bugs to crispy fried cream. There's the Vindicare assassin up in his perch, ready to shoot down at my warlord potentially, and then the battery of tanks in the backfield. I thought it was very interesting that you put the Rough Riders on the table. Why are the Rough Riders on the table?
I tend to find if I outflank them, they always fail their charge because they get a bonus for actually charging, so it's almost impossible to get off. And using them as more of an aggressive unit,
right?
Potentially trying to get a turn 1 charge.
Okay.
You, if I can seize, maybe that will happen.
Maybe you can happen, and that's Annabelle. Annabelle?
Eleanor.
Eleanor. Must remember Eleanor's name. She's down there talking to the Rough Riders and the commanders, and you are close to. Well, you're on that objective there. You're on this objective there. Here, I'm on 2. And then there's 2 currently in no man's land. The Harpy is up here, squawking its way through the sky, ready to swoop down on the humies below me, on the biomass that we wish to consume. So you did originally start with 10 command points, but you spent a couple, one on getting 2 relics, and one on the Vigilus detachment, battle cannon tank things.
Yeah, just taking it as a Vigilus detachment allows me to unlock the relic.
Right.
And I'm taking the Imperial Armory to gain a second relic, which would be the battle cannon.
Nice. So you've got 8 left, and as you said, you could have deployed everything back here. But you developed some frontline screen, ready to move forward and take these objectives. You've got an old grudges rule. Who is going to be your grudge? Who are you going to re-roll wounds against?
It's going to be Kevin.
Kevin, it's got to be Kevin, isn't he? He is a character, but he's got more than 10 wounds, so you can target him. And where is your commander right now?
He is near the back, so he is giving these guys their aura ability to reroll the wounds.
So there he is there, and everything firing at Kevin is reroll wounds for the whole game. So long as they're within 6 inches of him.
Yes.
I like it. Would you like to try and steal the initiative?
I will give it my best shots.
Okay, here's a dice, sir. Good luck.
Let's give it an obligatory shake.
Oh,
close but not close enough.
No cigar. Here is the will of the hive mind in turn 1. Big game hunter, kill a vehicle. Blood and guts, kill something in assault phase. And assassinate, kill a character. Just kill, kill, kill. Right, this is right at the start of the movement phase. I'm spending a command point on opportunistic advance, which is a Kraken specific thing, and Phil tried Rain of Confusion, which is an assassin. That failed. The Rain of Confusion thing failed. It would have meant that my command points, this stratagem would have cost 2 command points instead of 1. But opportunistic advance. Pick a Kraken unit. 3d6, advancing with Kraken, and you pick the highest. And opportunistic advance allows me to double that. And the Gene Stealers jump forward, and of course, Gene Stealers can advance and charge. And here we are after the movement phase. The swarm comes crashing forward. I need to kill a character, kill something in assault, and kill a tank. Now, there's a tank with a big, nasty, flamey gun on it, which can absolutely kebab little bugs. So the Tyrannofex is moving up over here with his acid spray. He is in range. It's 18-inch range to spit out at it. And he'll be backed up by the other Tyrannofex with his rupture cannon. I can see the turret and the rear big chemical filth on the back of that tank there. Need to kill it because it will absolutely murder little bugs in Phil's turn. Unlike this tank, which I'm not going to be able to assault, so next he will absolutely murder some Gene Stealers or stuff around here. So that's one of the targets. The other target is the Rough Riders. The Harpy is just swooping down. Imagine it flying over these buildings and is just going to crash straight into the Rough Riders there. Because they're quite quick, they're quite nippy, and probably want to tie up some of my bigger bugs. And this way I might be able to slow them down a little bit. The warriors are jumping forward. Everything pretty much advanced in the army except for the Tyrannofex back here and the warriors here. They just moved forward so they can shoot. But before that, we need to do some psychic shenanigans. So starting off with the Broodlord. Now the Broodlord's got Onslaught. I can put Onslaught on something, which means even though it advanced, it can charge. But there's nothing good to put it on, really. So I'm going to smite. That passes. Phil, do you feel lucky, Woodchuck Chucker? Or are you going to block that, or are you not going to block that?
I'm going to be brave and let you take it.
Do you like that Groundhog Day reference there?
It's a pretty good one.
Have you ever heard that before?
Not to my face.
What's up? 3. It kills 3 of these brave Death Corp of Krieg guardsmen here. They're the closest unit. Right, next up we're going to do... the horror. He can put the horror on something. -1 to hit. Now, there's no putting on the flamey tank of Doom. It is a 24-inch range. Need to measure, need to check the line of sight. I can see the tank commander just in range, 24-inch range, so I'm going to horrify him on a 6. That's a 9, and that means that tank commander's got -1 to hit. Would you like to try and block that?
I will.
Okay. Lady Greyhorn needs a 10 to try and block that. No. The tank commander is horrified. Now we're going to Catalyst up. No, that's not what he's got. The other one he's got is, 1 minute. Yes, it is Catalyst. Let's put Catalyst on the Gene Stealers. That's an 8. Would you like to try and block that?
Let's give it a go.
And you do block it. And I really needed that because they would have had a 5-up invulnerable save and a 5-up feel no pain. And there's a flaming tank of Doom right in front of them. So, bum. Right, last Psyker coming across to the Neurothrope here. It's going to hit this unit of Death Corp. Smiting on a 6 now. That passes. D3 mortal wounds for 1. And then Psychic Scream passes for another D3 mortal wounds for 1. So 2 in that squad. Psychic phase done. Tank horrified. Couple of Death Corp guys die screaming. Now we go on to the shooting phase. The Swarm Lord. Kevin has an ability called... I forget. But basically you pick a unit within 6 inches of them, and that unit can move again. So I'm going to pick the Broodlord and advance him which means the Broodlord's moving 8 plus 6 is 14 inches. And the Broodlord jumps forward there, along with his Gene Stealer buddies, ready to nom 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 his way through some Death Corp. Right, further on to the shooting phase. I'm going to spend a command point on Caustic Blood and put it on this Tyrannofex with Acid Spray here. Reign of Confusion is in effect because of your assassin, so if you roll a dice for me, sir. And yes. On a 4-up, this costs double the command points, right?
No, just +1.
+1. So instead of 1 command point, this costs me 2 command points. But what that means is the Pathogenic Slime. Pathogenic Slime means the damage of its weapon is increased by 1. So instead of damage D3, it's D3 plus 1. And I'm spitting acid, which can burn through the hull of a Star Destroyer. Star Destroyer? Maybe not a Star Destroyer, but burn through the hull of a Hellhound, certainly, at this tank. And it's 2d6 shots. So I need... Don't roll Snake Eyes Winters. I roll a 3 instead. Command point reroll? Yeah, what the hell. That's 8. Oh, that suddenly removed. Reign of Confusion kicks in again.
No.
Acid Spray, strength 7 currently, because it's when he gets nerfed, this strength goes down. Spitting up and over into the Hellhound, auto-hitting, wounding on 4s. That's pretty good. 6 wounds at AP -1. So 6 4-up saves. And you fail 3 of them. Command point? Are you happy with that? Because each of these does D3 plus 1 damage. Bear in mind it's going to get shot at by other guns.
I'll command point it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That worked. Okay, so 2d3 damage plus 2 essentially because of the Pathogenic Slime. So 4 damage. So the Hellhound's on 7 wounds left. So Tyrannofex number 2 with the Rupture Cannon will unload straight into it. Because this... Oh, actually, I have Stinger Salvos. It has Stinger Salvos, the original one, which will hit on 4s. And it's strength 5. I do 1 more wound at AP -1. I remember the Stinger Salvo for once. Which you safe. Okay, sorry for wasting everyone's time. Now the Rupture Cannon will come in. It has 3 shots, but because it stays still, it fires twice. It is a weapon beast. These hit on 4s, however. And only get 2 hits. It is strength 10, though. So we'll be wounding you on 3s. I wound once, AP -3 on your tank. Nope. And this does D6 damage. It's a very hit and miss gun. It can kill tanks in 1 hit or do this, where I'll do 1 wound. I do 5 wounds. The Hellhound's on 2 left. So I need to polish that tank off. So I've got a unit of warriors here. And I've got 4 Death Spitters in there and 2 Venom Cannons. Death Spitters are basically 24-inch range heavy bolters. I'm going to fire them up and into this squad here, I think. Mind you, the Gene Stealers could nom them. So yeah, let's fire the Death Spitters into this squad here in cover. And then the 2 Venom Cannons into the tank. Because they're Venom Cannons, they're supposed to be anti-tank. This will definitely work. I do hit on 4s, however. 1 hit the floor. That was 8 hits at strength 5, so winning on 3s. 4 wounds onto your Death Corp at -1, but +1 because you're in that ruin there.
So
5s. And 2 of them die. And then the 2 Venom Cannons, those are those long guns that look like those warriors are compensating for something. They're Assault D3, so, oh no, 2 shots into the tank. Hitting on 4s. They both hit, however, and this is strength 8, so your toughness 7, so I am wounding on 3s. I do 1 wound at AP -2. So 1 5-up save, which you make. So it's alive on 2 wounds left. That's a problem because shooting... Oh, I've got the harpy. 1 minute. Right, words are confusing me this morning. Terribly sorry. I keep calling this a harpy. It's a hive crone. The harpy is the one with the big guns. This is a hive crone. It's the cheaper one. The Drawl Cannon is going to hit the Death Corp riders in front. And I'm going to put the Stinger Salvo and the Tentaclids into the tank. Need this tank dead. So Drawl Cannon, spilling out onto the Death Corp that I'm going to assault. D6 auto hits for 2. It is strength 6. And I don't wound. Okay. Stinger Salvo into tank. Hits on 4s. 1 hit. It's strength 5, AP -1. It doesn't wound. The Tentaclids, 4 shots. Hitting on 4s. These are supposed to be anti-vehicle weaponry. Supposed to be. And you can reroll a hit if it was a flyer. And everything misses. Everything missed. You're right there. The enemy are right in front of you. How you miss everything? I guess a blizzard of flashlights is blinding its vision. It can't see very well. I found another gun. The Carnifex will be in range. 18-inch range. It's an assault weapon, the Carnifex Advanced. It has D6 shots with its Screamer Killer Scream. This is why they're called Screamer Killers, because the plasmic acid builds up in its throat like a roaring scream and it spits out and it will hit on 5s. And it hits once. It's strength 7. It doesn't wound. Then the other Screamer Killer also spat out at the Death Corp and missed. And that is the end of my shooting phase. There are some small arms here. We've got some charges coming on. And I really can't have a Hellhound on 2 wounds left, 2 of them on 2 wounds less, because its Flamer auto hits. So I need to spend a command point on single-minded annihilation to pick an infantry unit, the Warriors, and they fire again. But on a 4-up, this is going to cost me 2 command points instead of 1. It cost me 2 command points instead of 1. And because of that Reign of Confusion strat, I'm already down to 3 command points left. Okay. That's the assassins doing their thing behind enemy lines. Right, firing again. 2 venom cannons, number of shots. 2 shots again. Hitting on 4s. 1 hit at strength 8. Doesn't wound. Okay, the strength 5 weaponry is going to have to do it. Death Spitters, 3 shots each. 4s to hit. 8 shots, living ammunition burrowing into that hull there. But can it breach through the side of the metal on 5s? Oh, yes it can. 4 wounds, Phil. 4.
I can do this.
-1. You can't. And you spent a command point reroll already.
I have.
That's a dead tank, and I think they blow up on 4s.
That's correct. Ooh.
And so, fortunately for Lady Eleanor Greyhorn, the Hellhound tank behind her just gets melted into acidic piles of filth and doesn't go boom and shower in hot fragments and shrapnel. That's the end of my shooting phase. 3 command points left. I made that look painful, but now we're going to charge. We're going to have a Hive Crone attack this unit of Death Corp riders right in front of me. And the Broodlord is going to go uphill into these guys, and the Gene Stealers are going to attack both, I think. Right, coming around this side of the table, the Hive Crone has made it into the Death Corp riders without taking a wound, and the Broodlord has jumped up there. This unit of Gene Stealers is charging both, and the Cyclops rolling bomb, because that gets detonated in the shooting phase, right? Mm-hmm. So the idea is I want to scrabble it open and kill it. I know when it dies it might go boom anyway, but it's a little boom. It's a little mortal wound boom if I kill it in the assault phase. If it's still alive, in the shooting phase, regardless of whether it's locked up or not, you can detonate it. And it's 2d6 strength 9 hits when it goes big, bada boom. So I need to claw it apart before one of these guys presses the button, the big red shiny button. So I'm charging both. We've done the Overwatch. You failed to kill anything, and I know these units are charging after advancing, but that's what Broodlords and Gene Stealers do. And this is where we end up after the charge phase. The Gene Stealers and the Broodlord and the Harpy. Hive Crone engaging all the way across the front line. We're going to start with the Hive Crone because these guys, if you pay to interrupt, are probably not going to hurt Gene Stealers and Broodlords, but the Rough Riders might. So we'll start with the Hive Crone. Has 3 attacks with its Scything Winds, which hit on 4s. Wow, I hit all 3 times. It is strength user, so I'm strength 6. What's the toughness of these guys? 4 on the horses, 4, right? Yeah, so I need 3s to wound. And I get 3 wounds. This is AP -2, D3 damage. AP -2, so the 4-up save becomes a 6-up save.
Yep.
And you fail all of them. And it does D3 damage. They have 2 wounds each, right, Rough Riders?
Yes.
So the first one is dead. Second one, dead. Third one, dead. I kill 3. And then the Wicked Spur from its tail misses. Looks like this. Now we're on to the Broodlord. 6 attacks hitting on 2s. And I hit every single time. I'm strength 5, your toughness 3, so I'm winning on 3s. But Broodlords can reroll all failed wounds. And these are AP -3. That's 6 dead guard. Sorry, 5 dead guard. 5 dead guard. Now they don't take morale to casualties taken in the shooting phase, but they certainly take morale when there is a monster clawing at their faces. Now we're on to the Gene Stealers. So there's 20 Gene Stealers there. Gene Stealers have 3 attacks each. When there's more of 10 of them, they have 4 attacks each. And then when they're in 6-inch range of a Broodlord, they hit on 2s, which is many attacks. So that unit there has 4 times... It's at 80 attacks hitting on 2s. I'm going to put 8 of the Gene Stealers into the Cyclops, and the other 12 will hit the Guard. Right, we did the attacks on the Guard, and the Gene Stealers wiped out that Guard squad with ease. Now we're going to do the 8 Gene Stealers that are attacking this Cyclops demolition vehicle to see if I can take it out. This will hit on 2s because of the Broodlord. Demolition vehicle, it's rugged, it's toughness 6, so I need 5s to wound. And the 6s are AP -4 with Rending Claws, and you have a 3-up save. So that was many 6s. It's dead. It blows up on a 3-up. It blows up and does D3 mortal wounds to everything within 6 inches?
Yes.
Okay, so on the Gene Stealers, that's 2 of them dead. On the Broodlord, that's a wound on the Broodlord, and on your tank. 1 wound on your tank. And then the Gene Stealers pile forward and tag that Hellhound and will stop it shooting as well. Which means both of the Flame Attacks of Doom won't be shooting next turn as Gene Stealers scrabble all over its hull. And that is the end of turn 1 for the Hive Mind, for the Tyranids, for the Xenos Menace. We have morale to do. You've got 2 guys left in this squad here. So these 2 Death Corps run away. Meanwhile, round here, these guys lost wounds in the psychic phase, and some of the Death Company, the Rough Riders, lost dudes in the assault phase, but you can use your Inquisitor's leadership of 10. So they're going to stand firm, despite the fact that this is this red and brown horde charging down towards them. So they stand firm. And that is the end of turn 1. The Tyranids are already pushing back the Imperial Guard, but they are brave and they know no fear. No, those are the other guys. But they're brave and they will fight back hard and valiantly. I did kill something in the assault phase. I killed 1, 2, 3 things in the assault phase. So for Blood and Guts, I'm going to get D3, which is 1. I got Big Game Hunter for killing a tank, which is 1, and I got First Blood. Here are the orders for the Death Corps, and they're a bit difficult. Chain of command, basically order 3 different orders and you get a point. You can do that one. Hold the line, can't score in turn 1, and get behind enemy lines, need to get up in my grill. So these 2, next turn, should be 2 auto points. But it looks like only 1 point is possible this turn. Right, here we are after the Death Corps movement phase. We did do the fight back from the Rough Riders off camera onto the Harpy there. Didn't cause any wounds, toughness 6, 3-up save, managed to take them all. The Hellhound did run over a Gene Stealer with its tracks before it pulled back out of combat, and the unit of troops inside there have been ordered forward to form a screen, which is a Tuesday in the life of a Death Corp of Krieg person. Form a screen, form a firing line, and these guys are also forming a firing line, ready to plunge fire down in at the Gene Stealers. And there's a Vindicare Assassin there, and stood right in top of, right in line of sight of the Vindicare Assassin as a Broodlord. Clear away all these good units here, then I'm not going to be tagging tanks next turn. Potentially Kevin could move forward and then Hive Commander himself and move forward again and jump on them. So that's why there's a screen there. The Tank Commander is horrified, but he's got line of sight and range. And remember, reroll wound rolls versus my versus the Swarm Lord over here. If you're within 6-inch range of your Warlord, and all of these units here are within 6-inch range of the Warlord, the Hellhound won't be firing. Round here, this unit of Rough Riders stayed in combat with the Hive Grown, so no Overwatch when the other Rough Riders come in and try and make it have a very bad day. And then other Guardsmen being ordered forward, ready to plunge fire in at the big beasties coming up the field. So, Psychic Phase, Eleanor has some powers.
Yes.
Where are we starting? What do you want to do?
Let's start off with Smite.
A good old-fashioned Smite. Okay, it's going to be a 6 to cast because the Shadow's in the wall. And you pass on a 6. You just pass on a 6 there. Yes. I'll try and block that. I do block your Smite.
Comfortably.
What's her other psychic power?
It is Dominate.
Okay.
Which I'm going to do on this big boy here.
This big boy.
Yep. And
Okay.
it goes off on a 7, but that will become an 8.
8 because of shadows, yeah.
No.
And you perils, would you like to command point?
No, I can't even do it because even if I reroll 1, I'll still be on a 7, so it won't be enough.
So you take D3 mortal wounds on yourself, I'm afraid.
Oh, right. Oh, yes, because of that. In which case, yes, I will. That.
Okay, command point?
Yes, let's chuck one of those away.
Don't roll another 1. Don't roll another 1. She doesn't get a headache, but that it would have been nasty because you'd have been able to fire the gun. But that doesn't happen. Let's move on to the shooting phase. So we're going on to the shooting phase and issuing orders. The company commander, or rather in a Krieg army, a marshal, is ordering bring it down on this squad here.
Yes.
Bring it down, and they're going to unload their flashlights into the Gene Stealers at rapid fire range. But we're starting off with the Watchmaster, who's the sergeant equivalent. He is on 3. He's chucking a grenade.
Yep, so frag grenade, so number of shots.
Nice. 5 shots. And he hits 4 times, and this is strength 3 versus toughness 4. So you're winning on 5s, but we'll bring it down, you reroll 1s, right?
Yes.
Nice. There's a 1. You wound it, 5 up, do I dodge the blow? No, a Gene Stealer falls. Lasgun's hitting on 4s. 9 hits, wounding on 5s and re-rolling the 1s.
So reroll those 1s.
Okay, so 3 got through. I see 3. 3 lightning reflex saves. I haven't made any of them yet. After this squad was ordered, we're going across to the commissar type dude, was it?
It's the Death Rider company commander.
Company
One with the
commander.
sword.
And the unit that are engaged in combat over there are fixing bayonets so they can immediately fight as if it was the fight phase. So they hit on 3s because they're Death Corp. Normally guardsmen hit on 4s, but Death Corp, they really like fighting. So 3 hits, but it's 6s to wound because you're strength 3 right now.
Yep.
And you get a wound through, 3 up save. And nope, the harpy, you can't scratch its tough hide, but the horses can also fight.
With their hooves.
And they're kicking and biting these beasts.
So strength 4 says 5s.
Yep. And 1 more wound, 1 more 3 up save. Is it AP anything?
No.
Nope, you don't scratch the hide of the harpy, but that's 2 orders issued. You will issue 3, and that's chain of command objective complete. And I keep saying harpy, I mean hive crone, and it hasn't got a 3 up save, it's got a 4 up save. So its hide has been scratched, it's down to 11 wounds left. Now we're going across to this tank commander here who's horrified. Gunners kill on sight order issued. And basically the plasma sponsoons are going to hit Kevin. And all the other guns going into the Gene Stealers stitching hot lead right down in front of it. Where are we starting first? What gun are we doing first?
Let's do the plasma sponsons.
And are we overcharging?
No.
-1 to hit?
No, -2 because I moved as well.
Ah, okay. Right, so number of shots, yeah?
Yes.
That's 6 shots. And because you moved and because you're horrified, you hit on 5s. But you re-roll 1s because of the order. So 1 hit gets through. Strength 7, toughness 7, wounding on a 4. Doesn't wound. Now the Punisher cannon is firing this Gatling cannon of doom. Normally 20 shots, but because it's a turret weapon and you move half, you can fire it twice. So we're going to do it all together. 40 shots spooling up into the Gene Stealers. And you hit on 4s because it would be 3s, and then -1 becomes a 4 because of horrified, but you're re-rolling those 1s.
Yeah.
Wow, that was 18 hits with the re-roll there, and wounding on 3s because your toughness, strength 5, toughness 4. 14 wounds got through. Let's see how many Gene Stealers managed to dodge aside on 5s. 8. 8 get just turned to red mist. Then the heavy bolter and the heavy stubber fired in, hitting on 5s because it moved and it's a heavy weapon, and 2 more Gene Stealers got hit and both get turned to red mist. Right, only 3 Gene Stealers left now. So the second tank commander, the one buried in the middle there, the one in the middle, with his relic battle cannon,
Yep.
is firing all the way across into this Tranifex over here.
Yes.
And he's issued an order to himself, gunners kill on sight 1 more time, so he'll be re-rolling once to hit. Firing the last cannon first.
So you hit on 3s.
Nice. And winning on 3s. Doesn't wound. But you have got the metal cannon, yeah.
Yes.
2d6. This is the number of shots. That's really bad.
I will command point one of those.
Command point 1 on. Okay, for number of shots, because it's d6 shots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Firing twice because it's okay. 5 shots. Hitting on 3s. Rerolling 1s. Rerolling the 1. Okay, so 5 hits. Strength 8, battle cannon.
Yes.
I'm toughness 8.
So 4s.
Want to hit the floor? You want to reroll 1? 1 wound at -2. 1 5-up save. No. D3 damage?
Flat 3.
Is it? Nice. Right, after that big gun spoke, we're going to this squad here, and they'd really like to fire at the Broodlord, but he's a character, so he can't. So instead, firing their hotshot las guns down at the Gene Stealers, hoping to clear them off. Some are in rapid fire range, so you're hitting on 4s with this many shots.
It's 3s with the Grenadiers.
Is it?
Yeah,
3s?
they're elites.
Nice. That's pretty good shooting techs. Only missing 2 of those shots there. Hotshot las guns are AP minus something, but they're still strength 3, right?
Yes.
So they're winning on 5s. And that's 4?
Yeah.
4 wounds. There's
Minus
3
2.
left. It's the minuses, it's just a 5-up and bun, you see. So you kill them all. And now the screener Gene Stealers are dead. The Vindicare loads a shell, takes aim at the Broodlord, hits on a 2. Bang. And it wounds on a 2 because he is infantry. It wounds. And I ignore invulnerable saves.
Yes.
He always ignores invulnerable saves, which is a 5-up. He's got an armor save of 4-up, but you're AP minus 3. So you burn straight through that as well.
Yeah.
And I think on a 4s to wound, it does D3, D6 damage.
That's on a 6.
Is it?
D6.
D3 damage. So that's 3 wounds, and then the headshot rule kicks
so
in.
D3, so 2 wounds.
2 wounds, sorry. So it's on 3 left. And then the headshot rule kicks in. So on a 3, you do another wound.
Yeah.
That's 3 wounds. On a 4, you do another wound. No. So the Broodlord is down, but not out. There are 2 normal tanks that have yet to speak. They'd both love to fire through at Kevin, but can't see. So one of them is going to put all the shots into the Broodlord to kill it off. Let's face it, you do need to kill him off, otherwise he's going to jump down and start nomming away through stuff. You thought about loading another shot in the Vindicare and spending a command point, but again, hitting the Swarm Lord, firing at the targets down here, he has to, if he fires again, it has to be at a separate target, and there are no choice targets for him right now. So not doing that. Instead, battle cannon and a las cannon to the face against the Broodlord.
Yeah.
Las cannon hits on a 4. No, and the battle cannon has 2d6 shots, so you get double the number of shots because you stayed still or moved very little. Hitting on 4s, 2 hits. Your wound on 3s, it's strength 8, I'm toughness 5. 2 wounds, I need 2 5-up invulnerable saves. I fail them both, it's on 2 wounds left, the Broodlord dies screaming. And so suddenly the Death Corp have put some clean terrain between them and the Tyranid Horde. I say clean terrain, it's full of blood and bodies and filth and ichor. And so the second Layman Russ is firing down its battle cannon and las cannon into the Tranifex with acid spray. The las cannon will hit on a 4. Bang. And it will wound on a 3. And it wounds. It's AP minus 3, so I need a 6 to save, which I fail and does D6 damage. For 5 damage, it's got 6 wounds left. Now the battle cannon, 2d6 shots. For 4, you've been rolling really low with them. 4 shots.
Some dice.
Hitting on 4s. But 3 of them hit, that's okay. Now this is strength 8, toughness 8. This is the tough part. 2 wounds get through. AP minus 2 and a flat 3 damage.
No, D3 for this
D3, okay, 6 wounds left. I need 5s to save. I save them both. And that's the scrum in the backfield firing. Now we're coming across here to the Grenadiers and spending a command point on a stratagem called something. Basically, they can all unpin grenades, all of them, and throw grenades up at this Carnifex here. So a swarm of grenades will explode around their feet. These hit on 3s because they're elite.
Oh no, so they're regular troops,
yes.
But I'm using the Grenadier stratagem.
Right.
But the Watchmaster can hit on 3s and then the rest will hit on 4s.
Nice, okay. 3s.
So Watchmaster.
Yes.
And then the other guys.
Yes. That's pretty good. They're good with these grenades. Strength 6, toughness 7 on the Carnifex. And only 1 wound gets through. It's minus 1. I fail the save and it does D3 damage. For 1, the Carnifex is down to 7 wounds. And lastly, we have pistols. Coming into the Carnifex again?
Yes.
So we're doing the Acolytes first?
Yes, so I'll shoot them both at the same time.
Yep.
So they hit on 4s.
Right.
Reroll 1s because of the quarry rule. So
okay.
reroll against Xenos.
Nice.
That's a 1 hit. Needle pistols wound on a 2.
Cool. It wounds. I make the save. Nice. And Eisenhorn, or sorry, Lady Eleanor.
Yep, so she's got an Artificer bolt pistol.
Which hits.
Hits strength 4.
Doesn't wound. Right, and that's it for the shooting phase. Every single one of the Gene Stealers, there was 20 there, have been wiped out, and the Broodlord, and the Tyrannifexes, less than half wounds and leaking acid all over the place. The Carnifex has been hit. The front line has been pushed back. And now we're going to charge. We're going to see the charge of the Light Brigade as the Rough Riders come in against this Hive Crone. And I can't Overwatch because I'm still engaged with the other squad. At the end of the charge phase, it looks like this. Couldn't really fail those charges. We're starting off with a commander who's got 4 attacks. He hits on...
Freeze.
And he only hits twice. Is this the relic thingy bob?
Yes, so it's +2 to his strength.
Okay, strength 5, toughness 6. He doesn't wound.
No. And then the horses.
Right. Hits once. Strength 4,
yep.
Wounds. AP?
Nothing.
4 up save. I make the save. The Harpy's still got... Hive Crone. Still got 11 wounds left. Next, I'm not going to pay to interrupt. I've only got 3 command points left. I know I could hurt these guys, but I'd really like to spend my command points on other juicier things. I say I could hurt these guys. I got very lucky last time hitting on 4s with 3 attacks. I might be able to kill 1 or 2. Next, where are we going?
So I'll do the Commissar.
Commissar, yes.
So 4 attacks, but +1 for a chainsaw.
Okay. And he hits 5 times.
Freeze,
the
yeah.
Commissar's leading from the front there. He's strength 3 though, right?
Yes.
Toughness 6. And the chainsaw doesn't bite through the toughness 6 creature. Right, Rough Riders are going to have to do it.
Yeah, so the ones that are charging in.
Yes. Because when the Rough Riders charge, they get bonuses to strength and stuff like that.
So
when
+2 to their strength.
Nice, okay. So the charging in ones, hitting on 3s because they're Death Corp. Oh dear. Only 4 hits. +2 to strength. It's strength 5, toughness 6. 1 wound. It's a shock lance. AP minus on the charge. 2. I make the save. Oh no, I don't. It's a 4 up -2. I fail the save. How much damage?
D3.
D3.
Pretty sure it's D3.
Okay, so it's down to 9 wounds left, and now we've got the horsies biting and stamping away, and they hit on 3s, and they're strength 4, so they'll be wounding on 5s. Everything hits. And, ooh, the horsies are angry.
1, 2, 3, 4.
9 wounds left. 8 wounds left. And now we've got the guys who are still locked up in combat.
Yep.
And they put 1 wound on the Hive Crone. It's down to 7 wounds left. Now I get to fight back. I'm going to fight the unit that are a bit injured.
Yep.
The 2. I hit on 4s with my wings. And I am strength 6, so I wound on a 3. That wounds, it's AP minus something. We'll figure it out. 2. It's AP minus 2.
So
6 up save. Nope, and it does D6 damage. And kills 1. And then the Wicked Spur whips out and actually hits this time. And doesn't wound. And that is the end of turn 1. I have no morale to take. And you do get a command point for Chain of Command. And the other 2 orders in your hand are behind enemy lines and hold the line. Now hold the line, so long as there's no enemy units in your deployment zone next turn, you'll get a point. But guess where the Tyranids are going next turn?
They're going straight forwards.
They're going into your deployment zone. So I think you're ditching that one?
Yeah, I'll ditch that one.
Ditching that one. So it's 1 point to the guard, 3 points to the Tyranids. Let's go to Tyranids turn 2 and press this attack. And here is the will of the Hive Mind. I still need to assassinate one of those officers and crush. Score a point if at least 1 enemy unit was completely destroyed and the last model in the enemy unit was slain by an attack made by a monster or a Tyranid unit of more than 10 models. Basically, you need to swarm something or eat something with something big. There's a point. That's easy. Secure objective 5. No idea where that is. Okay, so I've pushed forward and these little bugs are on objective 5, so there's a point. I need to kill a character. Now, this thing has the fly keyword and it's Kraken. Because it has the fly keyword, I can fall back and still shoot. And because it's Kraken, I can fall back and still charge. It's dirty. I really need 3 of these. With Kraken, that works really well. There's a character right there. I could have tried to get round to Eisenhorn, aka Eleanor, but the positioning of the basing with the I basically wouldn't have been able to target her. But this way, I should be able to get Assassinate by taking out that Rough Rider Commissar. And then the last thing I need to do is kill something with a big monster. I've got plenty of big monsters. I should be able to get all 3 of these command points again one more time. So we have moved forward. Kevin is going the only way he knows, which is straightforward, into all of those guns. But he knows, no fear. 1 minute, those are the other guys again. Right, we're on to the psychic phase, and the dice are all the way over there. So the Neurothroat cast Smite and Psychic Scream, and it hit this unit of Death Corp here, killing 3 of them. And now Kevin has got Catalyst and Horror, and he's selfish. He's going to put Catalyst on himself. He needs a 6. That fails. I really needed that. He's got a 4-up and vulnerable save, but there's a lot of guns there. I failed Catalyst last time, failed Catalyst this time, and I needed that ability to ignore wounds on a 5-up, so he could be in trouble. Let's horrify this tank commander with the Gun of Doom one more time. I need a 6. That passes. You can try and deny, because Eleanor is in range. You need an 8 to try and deny that. You don't deny it. So tank commander horrified one more time. That's the end of the psychic phase. And then we're going to go on to the shooting phase. And in the shooting phase, with the Hive Commander ability, Kevin can pick a unit and it can move again. And again, thinking of only himself, he put it on himself and he's come charging forward with his Swords of Doom. Right, now let's shoot some guns. We'll do both of the Carnifexes spitting at the injured unit. The first unit, I didn't advance this time. For 1 shot, which hits on a 4, which misses. The other one, D6 shots. 4 shots, which hit on 4s. 3 hits. This is strength 7, so I will wound on 3s. And they all wound, and it's AP minus many, 1 damage. How many are left in that squad? Just 1?
Yes, just 1.
He's been melted to sludge. Right, the Hive Crone will dual cannon and Tentaclids into the Commissar, looking for Assassinate. I'll charge it later if this doesn't work. Tentaclids go into the tank. While we're talking about anti-tank, it's worth mentioning that I had to advance my Tyrannifex with the Rupture Cannon. He was back in this corner, and at 48-inch range, I couldn't hit any of the vehicles down here. So I had to advance him forward. The next time he will be in range to shoot some big guns, but it also means he's now in range to get shot back at. Anyway, let's drool all over the Commissar with this. 6 auto hits. It is strength 6. 5 auto hits. What am I talking about? It is strength 6. Your toughness 4. 5 wounds at -1, sir. On your Commissar. 5s? Oh dear. He's dead already.
He's dead.
And with the death of the Commissar, that was Crush and Assassinate. So managing to achieve all 3 of my objectives this turn. Then I fired the Tentacles down into that tank and put a mortal wound on it. Right, next up. This Tyrannifex with Acid Spray is going to spray onto this unit of 4 Rough Riders here. I stayed still. So instead of auto hitting on twice 2d6, this is 4d6 auto hits. That's 14 auto hits with the Acid Spray. I'm on strength 6 now because I'm down to 6 wounds. But your toughness 4.
Yep.
So I'm wounding on 3s. And this is AP minus 1 d3 damage at time. 4 up becomes a 5 up. And you make some of them. You make 4 of them. 4 of them. So this is d3 damage at time. They're 2 wounds each.
Yep.
1 dies. And he's still alive, the second one, and now he dies. So that's 2 dead, and there's 4 in the squad, right?
Yes.
The squad are wiped.
No.
Then after those Rough Riders fell, then the Warriors, well, the only thing they could fire at was this unit of Death Corp, which were in this ruin here, and they've all been wiped out, except for the Watchmaster. And that's my shooting phase. There's no point in doing single-minded annihilation again. I've got a couple of venom cannons which could reach out all the way back down here, but they're not going to kill anything, and they're highly unlikely to bracket anything at this time. So that's it. That was pretty good, though. The Rough Riders are gone. I've got Assassinate. I've got Crush. So there's going to be some charges coming up right here. Who is this guy on the horse?
That's the company commander.
I think he's in trouble.
I don't know. He's got his Blade of Conquest.
Meanwhile, Kevin is going to wet his blades. And then Kevin made the charge, and the noble guardsman managed to put a couple of wounds on him as he came crashing through. I failed my saves. Rolled a 1 or 2. So that was pretty heroic stuff, this last stand of this unit of troops here. Meanwhile, over here, this guy, he's surrounded. But he's Death Corp, he's exactly where he wants to be. Finally, he will be able to fulfill his destiny.
He's in his happy place.
Yeah, he's in a happy place right now, sacrificing himself for the Imperial cult. Screamer Killers do mortal wounds on the turn they charge, on a 4. He takes 2 mortal wounds. And then they have 5 attacks each. So he has 2 wounds left. In case Phil interrupts, let's do this separately. Massive Scything Talons. Hit on 3s and reroll 1s. That's what they do. And they're strength 6, AP minus 3. So they wound on 3s. AP minus 3, a flat 3 damage.
So 5 up Invan.
5 from Invan? Yeah, if you fail one of these, he gets to fulfill his destiny. And he joins the Emperor's side by the Golden Throne in Valhalla. Then it looks like this. I could consolidate, pile in, things like that over here, but I'm Kraken. There's no point in bringing other units into close combat. You have to move towards the closest enemy units. So I'll stay there. Even if I do tag, then Phil will just fall out so he can shoot at them anyway. So we're going to go across to Kevin. The Swarm Lord has 6 attacks. He hits on 2s. And he's strength 8. He wounds on 2s. And he kills 6 guardsmen because it's AP minus 3 damage. Basically, 6 of them, get wiped out. And then the tail hits on 2s. It's strength 8. But you do get an armor save to that. And you do make the save. So he just cuts down 6. That's quite a lot. Then I've consolidated. Then the guardsmen have piled in, getting ready to fight back. The interesting thing here is you're going to prevent me from tagging that tank. So the Flamer Cannon of Doom will be able to fire next turn. Right, they're fighting back. Core hit on 3s in close combat. Like I said, it's their happy place this close to a big Xenos killing machine. But your strength, 3. You are strength human. I am toughness Xenos. So wounding on 6s.
None.
About to say, you nearly put another wound on him. And that's the end of my turn. I'm assuming you're going to burn 2 command points to try and keep them there. How many have you got left? 4. Or you can take the morale. Their leadership's 7. So it's going to be 6 plus whatever the D6 is. Which you could re-roll. Spend 1 command point to re-roll it. Because basically, only 1 dude needs to be alive. Because I've done my piling consolidation. So long as you don't lose 4.
Yeah, so I could do 1 CP to do D3.
Basically,
to roll on D3 rather than D6.
Yeah, if you roll a 1, you're okay. If you roll, because 1 plus 6 is 7, and your leadership is 7. If you roll a 2, you're okay. 3 is okay. 4 is okay.
Yeah.
5,
I'll
not so much.
1 CP to
re-roll if you need to. Yeah.
Oh no, 1 CP to it's a National Militarum one. So 1 CP.
It's a what?
And you roll D3 rather than D6.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Good stuff. Yeah. So 2 plus 6 is 8. You lose 1 more.
Yep.
They hold. And that stratagem, Astra Militarum, fight to the death, and that's what the Death Corps do, fighting to the death. That's the end of Tyranids. Hive Fleet Kraken's turn 2. I have killed something with a monster, I have assassinated a character, and I am holding objective 5, so it's 6 points to 1 in favour of the foul Xenos scum. This is a bug planet. This is an ugly planet. And it's time for the Death Corps to respond. Let's go on to Astra Militarum, turn 2. Here are the orders for the Imperium. Get behind enemy lines and defend Objective 2. Both of these are achievable. Defend Objective 2 is the one in their deployment zone. And scour the skies, blow up that Hive Crone. Right, at the start of the movement phase, Lady Eleanor is summoning her demon host. When this happens, you need to roll a dice. Roll a D3 or D6? You got a 5. What happens on a 5?
So on a 5 and 6, he does an explosive power. So every enemy unit within 3 inches on a 2-up suffers D3 mortal wounds.
Whoa. And so the demon host appeared with a bang, and the Hive Crone's on 5 wounds. This Carnifex is on 6 wounds, and this Carnifex managed to stop, drop, and roll and survived unscathed. Okay, here we are in the Death Corps and Imperium's turn 2. And assassins have entered the building. The Eversaw is here, ready to charge into the Tyrannifex here. And assassins are not the only thing to enter the building. Hobnobs have entered the building.
I can confirm they are tasty.
They are very tasty hobnobs. I haven't got any chocolate chip hobnobs right now, just the chocolate coated hobnobs. If you are in America or somewhere that is not the UK, get these things off the internet. They are glorious. If you want anything more glorious than hobnobs, then I encourage you to subscribe to deploymentzone.tv for more Winter's SEO battle reports. Do you like the way I stuck that in there?
It was very smooth.
It was good, wasn't it? Yeah, it just came to me. The Cladius, this is the Cladius. Assassin, no? The other assassin.
No, it is, yeah.
Yeah, the Cladius. The Cladius can appear under 9 inches away from stuff. So she appeared 6 inches away from my Warlord. So that would be a 5-inch charge. And she ignores invulnerable saves in close combat.
Yes.
And I've got 5 wounds with a 5-up save when you take away the 3-up invulnerable save. So potentially there could be Warlord. This is behind enemy lines. The other order was defend objective 2. And this unit that managed to stand firm against the beast that is Kevin have pulled back and are now defending objective 2. You just need to kill him now. And what was the last order? What was the last order?
Scout the skies.
Scout the skies. Kill the fly thing. Now, when Cherubor appeared, or whatever the name of your demon host is, took a couple of mortal wounds off of him. And then Eleanor smit him as well. He's only down to 4 wounds left. So you're very close to scouring the skies. The other psychic power was blocked by the will of the hive mind. And that's pretty much it. Assassins in the backfield. It looks like Hive Fleet Kraken has stepped into a trap, and because Catalyst was failed by Kevin over here, he may have overextended himself. So psychic phase done, movement phase done. Now let the big guns never tire. So orders were issued. The 2 tank commanders given themselves reroll hit rolls of 1, and this unit of troops that fell back out of combat. Typically you wouldn't be able to shoot, but they're guards, son. And they fired in up at Kevin, but Kevin is Kevin, son, and took it all. He did get a wound with a flashlight, but he went, nah, not today. Now we're on to the Hellhound, firing its Flamer of Doom, point blank range, and is going to set Kevin on fire. Number of auto hits. Ooh. Oh, mama. Strength 6, toughness 7, 5's to wound.
Oh dear.
3 got through at -1, so 4 ups, and each does 1 damage. Kevin is down to 8 wounds. Heavy Flamer hits 4 times and wounds twice and takes another wound off of Kevin. Then this squad of guardsmen fired down at Kevin with their hot shotguns. Didn't do any wounds, 6s to wounds. No wounds got through, but there is a melter in that squad, which will hit on a 4.
Freeze.
3s, and it misses. That was hitting on 3s, because they're elites. Right, the Punisher Guard Commander is firing everything, point blank range, into Kevin the Swarmlord. And you're overcharging the plasma this time. Oh dear, you've got the horror on you, you know that. It's -1s to hit.
But I'll take that.
You'll take it?
Yeah.
Okay, number of shots, D3 each time. 2 shots.
So -1
I thought it was
time?
D3 shots a time with the plasma sponsoons.
Oh yeah, so 1 each.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's D6.
Yeah. -1. That's the turret one is. Okay, so you don't blow yourself up and 1 hit gets through because you're hitting on 3s normally?
Hitting on 3s, but -1.
Yeah, so okay, 1 gets through. Strength 8 now because you're overcharged. Toughness 7.
No.
Oh dear. So the plasma didn't wound, and the heavy bolter and the heavy stubber didn't wound, and now the main turret is spooling up. And wounding on 5s. This is AP dash, so I have a 3-up save. This is what I really needed Catalyst for. Oh, 1 minute. I didn't fail a save. Go, Kevin! Then the other tank commander unloaded the storm bolter bouncing. Now we're doing the last cannon.
Yeah.
And it hits. He hits on a 3, and he wounds on a 3. And I have a 4-up invulnerable save, which I'm going to command point reroll. Kevin's alive. And then 2d6 number of shots with a battle cannon.
Yep.
8. Last time you were rolling 2s and 3s. This time the cannon's warmed up, or rather the loader has had a right telling off by his commander there, and he's go for it. And he's just
does any better.
You reroll the 1s because the order. Okay, so 5 hits get through, and now you just need a wound on 3s, and 3 wounds get through. 3 4-up saves. I make 1. Is this the flat 3 damage?
Yes, yeah, so that's 6 damage.
Kevin's on 1 wound left. Oh no. Right, you've got 2 tanks left to fire. And you want to get Scale the Skies as well.
I do.
You know split and fire always works. You could do that.
Yeah, but I don't fancy my chances with a las cannon. So I'm going to fire everything from 1 tank into...
Captain Kirk style. Fire everything. Las cannon then. Hitting on a 4. It hits. Wounds on a 3. It wounds. 50-50 chance. He's alive.
Oh, see, I did the right thing.
He did the right thing. 2d6 shots with a battle cannon. Yep, he's been told off by his commander as well. The loader knows what he's doing. 7 rounds going into the barrel, hitting on 4s. Ooh, mama. Did you just hit 6 times? That's beautiful. Winning on 3s. I think Kevin might fall. Yeah, Kevin's going to... 5. 4 up and runs. How many? Yeah. Bye, Kevin. And Kevin gets pounded into dust. So the last tank is firing at the Hive Crown. Last cannon into the sky. Hits. And wounds. See, this thing, even though it's flapping, it's not an aircraft. It's not -1 to hit. It's got a 4-up save. That last cannon just cuts straight through it and does d6 damage. And tears it out of the sky. And then we remember the death throw rule, which is Tyranid monsters sometimes lash out at creatures around them when they die, and neither of the Hive Crown or Kevin did that. Now we're on to Cherubel, who's doing what now?
It's the Unholy Gaze.
Unholy Gaze. So he's staring at a Carnifex.
Really hard.
Really? Hitting on a 3 because Eisenhorn's there. Oh, sorry, Eleanor. It hits. Strength 8. Doesn't wound. He didn't stare hard enough. Then pistols fired out at the Carnifexes and didn't manage to wound them. And then the Gladius fired the Neural Shredder in at my Warlord and hit. And now you roll 3d6. You need to beat the leadership or equal it. And you do, because it's leadership 9. And it does d3 mortal wounds.
Nice.
My Warlord's down to 2 wounds. And then after that assassin fired, the Eversaw fired his Uzi in at the Tyrannifex over here and took 2 wounds off. And then the Vindicator, with no choice targets, it can't see my Warlord, decided to fire down at this Carnifex and took a chunk of wounds off. It's down to 2 left. Got a headshot on a Carnifex. And that is the end of the shooting phase for the Guard. My footprint suddenly is greatly reduced. I've got some monsters charging forward over here. But let's face it, the tank line in the backfield, though they took a battering in the turn 1, they're now relatively untouched. And now we have assassins. Assassins charging through the ruins. So the Calidus going against the Neurothrope.
Yeah.
Roll a 5 and you're good. You're good.
Plenty.
And let's do the 3 shots for the Eversa because it's going in against the T-Fex, right?
Yeah.
And you don't want 6s.
No.
You don't get any 6s. And he charges 3d6 as he comes powering through. Pumped up on stims. And he makes the charge as well. Right, then we did the Stinger Salvo from the Tyrannifex and it failed to wound the Eversaw as well. Now, I know I can fire twice if I stand still, but it says fire twice in your movement phase. And in my movement phase, I moved him. And we also know that the Eversaw can't kill the Tyrannifex in 1 round of combat, but that's not what this is about.
No.
What is this about?
Just tying it up so it can't shoot.
Yep, he's going to have a crazy drugged up assassin scrambling all over it. And it'll
scratching, giving you a back rub, basically.
give it a bit of a back rub, and it'll put the Tyrannifex off of its aim. Right, we're starting with the Gladius though first, and you're smacking my Warlord.
Yes.
How many attacks?
5 attacks.
5 attacks hitting on 2s. That was 4 hits. And this is the one that ignores invulnerable saves.
Yeah.
So it's strength 4, toughness 4.
No!
Did you just fail every single one?
I did.
Oh dear. And even if you command point reroll 1 of them.
Probably not worth it.
See, wounded on 4s, and it had 2 wounds left. All you had to do was a couple through. I have a 5-up normal save. So she came flying out of her cover wherever she was, probably inside this ruin, blasted it, went charging in and bounced.
Sad times.
Sad times. Well, let's do the Eversaw. It'll make you feel better. He has more attacks. I think this guy's 6, right?
6 but plus 2 on the charge, that's 8.
8? I gotta get me one of these. And he hits on 2s. And is this the re-roll to wound weapon thing?
Yes, but only against infantry.
Oh, okay. So what strength is he? 5, 4?
4.
Okay, so you need 6s now. No wounds.
No.
He's an infantry killer. He's a horde killer. That's what he's here to do. That's the end of that combat. Should mention that after you smacked into the Neurothrope, you consolidated into tag Big Boy Bertha here, basically to stop that shooting. Basically, both of my Tyrannofexes need to fall out of combat and they won't be shooting, which is nasty. So I need to strike back. I've got 3 attacks with powerful limbs against him. I hit on 4s. Actually, it's 4 attacks. And everything misses. And then round here with that one, I hit twice. I am strength 7. I wound twice. It's AP minus. Well, you got 4 from vulnerable save, but each of these does 2 damage. I do 2 damage. And my brain bug, Neurothrope, headbutts you on a 4. No. And so the assassins have come to the aid of the Death Corp of Krieg and have shut down these weapon beasts from firing. And you've scoured the skies, and you've got behind enemy lines, making it 6 points to 3. And at the end of my turn, you'll probably defend that as well, to get 2 points for that one. But before then, we need to go into Tyranids Turn 3 and see what I can do. I mean, I've got to get rid of these characters back here, because they're just going to tag me again. And I'm a bit too far away from the tanks. I could start piling and charging and try and engage those tanks, but it might take me more than a turn to get there. Do I just leave the parking lot for now and spread out and swarm? And are you not charging with these guys? Well, mind you, they are Carnifexes. I guess there's probably not the best thing to do.
Not too bad in close combat.
Are we going to turn 3, or did you want to charge down here?
I'll charge them.
You're going to charge?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Okay, let's go back to the charge phase. So we came back round here. I did some Overwatch. You're only charging this Carnifex. That's the plan, right?
Yes.
So he needs to kill stuff if he wants to barrel his way downtown towards your parking lot in the backfield. And you managed to get in. No damage done on Overwatch. We're starting off with Eisenhorn, a.k.a. Eleanor.
Yeah.
4 attacks hitting on 3s with the Ruin Staff. Rune Staff. Rune Staff. That's the one. 3 hits. Strength +2, so he's strength 6. I'm talking 7. Ooh. She gets 2 through. AP minus what?
Again? Yeah, 1.
1, 4s.
Oh.
I make both of them as well. That's 4 6s in a row. Yeah. Available from the deploymentzone.tv merchandise page. 2 wins left on that Carnifex. Charabel or Acolyte? Where are we going next?
Acolyte first of all.
Okay.
So he has 2 + 1 for the chainsaw.
Yes.
So he hit on 4s. I get to reroll 1s.
Okay. Because you're next to...
no, because the quarry rule, so because you're Xenos. I
Okay.
get to reroll 1s.
It hits. Strength?
Oh, user, so 3. So no.
Doesn't wound. So it's onto your demon.
Yeah.
So you say you're Imperium, right? You say the Death Corps are loyal. Why do you have a demon in your army? That's a demon.
Whatever
Demon.
methods takes, whatever it takes.
So Charable, the demon in this loyalist army, has got 4 attacks hitting on what?
Freeze, because he gets +1 for being next to Eleanor.
Okay. Hits 3 times. Strength?
6.
6. Wounding on 5s.
But gets +1 to wound.
Right. Because he's a 1 wound gets through.
Yeah.
AP minus?
1.
Only 1. Sure? Phil said he doesn't get to use them very often.
-3, but 1 damage.
-3, 6s. 1 damage. The Carnifex is on 1 wound left.
Here we go.
Can I put all my attacks into Eleanor now?
Go for it.
1 minute. I think I need to kill that one. Because then I can pile and consolidate this way. And then go that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hitting on 4s because I didn't charge. How many wounds has this dude got?
Just 1.
Just 1? Only 1? 5 attacks, I hit on 4s. How many do I gamble? Let's do 2 into him. And 3 into Eisenhorn.
Mm-hmm.
2 into the Acolyte, 4s. 1 hit. I'm strength 6. I'm killing on a 2, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be dead. That's AP -3, 3 damage.
Ouch.
Dead Acolyte? Smashed into ground. Right, 3 on Eleanor, aka Eisenhorn. We brought a demon in an Imperial army. I'm doing this for my Imperial brothers here. It hurts me to hurt Eisenhorn / Eleanor. But there's a demon there. 4s. I miss. I miss. It seems that the light of the Emperor is on your side for some strange reasons. And we end up here on 1 wound left. 1 wound. That's all I need to charge through and stop you defending that.
Indeed.
See, okay, so that's the end of Death Corp of Krieg. Turn 2? It's only turn 2.
Yeah, turn 2.
It's 6 points to 3 in favour of the Tyranids, but I'm already running out of steam. Let's go on to Hive Fleet Krakens. Turn 3. Here are my orders. Secure Objective 3, I'm on that. Get behind enemy lines, I can do that as well, but dominate, cast 3 psychic powers, I can't do that because most of my psychers are now dead. Here we are after Kraken's movement phase in turn 3. I am on Objective 3. Luckily enough, it was this one back here, right in my corner. And I'm behind enemy lines with this Carnifex that killed the Acolyte. It just needs to survive Overwatch and come in and kill these guys as well and stop you defending that. That would be quite a hefty point swing. I would gain 2, you would lose 2. Meanwhile, my Neurothrope was broken out of combat. I have to be very careful where I move because this thing here, it's got a hole in. I don't know if I can get you can see through it. This large line of sight block and terrain thing. Not only can we see through it, but the Vindicare up here on this silo can see through it if I move too far to the right or too far to the left. And my Warlord is on 2 wounds left and you'll kill him with ease. So you can move your Vindicare if you want to, but there's negatives.
Yes, so you'll just be your -1, so you'd be hitting on 3s.
Right, okay. So 3s to hit rather than 2s. Make it a little bit harder for you. And I've surrounded my Neurothrope. And you've drawn me back by dropping these 2 assassins here. I can't come charge. I've got to deal with them. Otherwise, the assassins will just tag my weapon beasts again and again and again. So I need to deal with them. I also can't cast 3 psychic powers because the Neurothrope can only cast 2. But the Neurothrope potentially could kill the Cladius. First, I need to get a smite off, which passes. You can block with Eleanor if you want to.
Give it a go.
And you don't block it. It'll do D3 mortal wounds to the Cladius. For 2, putting it on 1 left. And now I will psychically scream, which passes on a 6. Can she block 2?
Yep.
And you block that. So she's on 1 wound left, that assassin. So I'm going to have to do this the old school way with guns. So on to the shooting phase. Spending a command point down to 1 left. On Scorch Bugs on these Termagants here and unloading everything into the Cladius. And I'm hitting on 4s. And with Scorch Bugs, instead of wounding on 4s, I'll be wounding on 3s. 3s, because the bugs are on fire. Right, that many 4-up invulnerable saves. Dodge this.
Can I do it?
Can you do it? No, she don't. That's 1 assassin down. Should also mention that the Everso can fire at someone when they fall out of combat and they hit on 2s, and you threw a melter bomb at my Tyrannofex when I fell out of combat and you missed.
I did. I basically bombed himself.
I like to think he was riding rodeo on the back, trying to stab his knife in, like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, trying to stab it and stab it and stab it and stab it and tried to probably lost grip of the melter bomb.
Got a bit too distracted.
Yes. So now he needs to die. So I've got this unit of warriors which are going to unload everything into him. Venom cannons is... I nearly robbed too many dice. Is D3 shots each. So that's 5 shots. I'm hitting on 4s. I hit 3 times and it is strength 8. And that's 3 1s. So that didn't work. Let's do Death Spitters instead. Death Spitters hitting on 4s. Had to think there, because normally these guys run around with a Tyranid Prime. If they're running around with a Tyranid Prime, they hit on 3s. Nice. Strength 5. I wound you 3 times at AP -1, but it's all 4-up and vulnerable saves, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you take 2 wounds. So now I'm going to have to spend my 2 command points, my last 2 command points, on single-minded annihilation to fire again, because I really need him dead. Otherwise, he just charges one of these things. Fair enough. So no command points left for me. You've got 3. This is the number of shots with the venom cannon, which is 6. 2 venom cannons, which is 6. I think he's on 3 wounds left. I think he starts off with 5. It might be 6. We'll check in a minute. 4s to hit. And I hit 3 times. Perfectly statistically average. 2s to wound. And I wound you this time. I wound you twice. And you make one of the saves. D3 for 2 more wounds. That's 4 wounds. Turns out the Eversaws start off with 6 wounds, so he's got 2 left. So, Death Spitters. Basically heavy bolters. Only 5 hit. And only 2 wound. If you could fail both of those, that would be a kindness. Thank you, sir.
I'll try my best.
Thank you.
Oh, and I do.
The Eversaw's dead. So the Eversaw is dead. They're walking bombs. They're hard-wired explosive killers of death. And when they die, you roll a dice for every unit within 6 inches. There's 2 units within 6 inches. Let's do the warriors first. You need a 4-up. They don't get hit by the explosion, but what about the Tran effects on a 4-up? No, so he does go big bada boom, or little bada boom. And it doesn't blow up or hurt any of these 2 units here. Okay. Right, breathe a sigh of relief one more time. The Assassinoriums have been dealt with, except for the Vindicator up here. Carnifex is going to spit on these guys here. Number of shots is 5. Okay, I might not need to charge you. Got to hit you on 4s though. Hit you twice, wound you on 2s. 2 are turned to sludge. I think it's AP minus 3 or 4, 1 damage each. So, and it's strength 7. So he does spit and melt 2 of them. And this Carnifex, Screamer Killer, is going after the demon because I'm a true Imperial player, despite playing Xenos right now. I must kill the demon, suffer the demon not to live. Number of shots for 4. Die, demon, die. And I hit you all 4 times. Well done, mate. You're getting a promotion after this. Strength 7. I wound you all 4 times. You have a 5-up demon save, which is +1 because you're next to Eleanor, a.k.a. Eisenhorn.
Was it a 4-up going to...
Demons normally have
5, then yes.
Yes.
It goes to 4, yeah.
Yes. So 4 up saves. It only does 1 damage each. And I damage it once. And that's the end of my shooting phase. Then we did the charge phase. You've already fired the Overwatch. He comes crashing in there. We'll get back to that. Because I want to see if this plucky guardsman can kill a Carnifex Screamer Killer on Overwatch. So let's do the Overwatch on camera. Grenade or las gun?
Crack grenade.
Crack grenade to the face. And it misses. And then I come charging through that far. And when Screamer Killers complete their charge move on a 4-up, I run you over. Don't run you over. What about Cherubel? Don't run him over too. Right, let's fight. I think he's a bit tastier than the guardsman, so I'll start here. Carnifex is on the charge. Hit on 3s, and they reroll hit rolls of 1. I am strength 6. This demon host is toughness 6. He's big. He's powerful. I will wound on 4s. Only wound twice. AP minus 3, 3 damage a time. So if you fail both of them, not like that. He's on 1 wound left. Do you want to pay to interrupt with your plucky guardsman? You've got 3 command points left.
And it's 2 command points, but if I can somehow...
Hitting on a 3, wounding on a 6. Okay, spending 2 command points to interrupt and slay a Carnifex with 1 lone guardsman. If you managed to do it, would be truly epic.
It would be. And
we live for these epic moments. But you can defend that objective next turn because you have many, many tanks that can just rock up onto it. So you're not being that stupid. Instead, the Carnifex will just hit you on 3s, re-rolling 1s, and smush them into the ground on 2s. And have a lovely snack. And that stops you defending that objective for this turn. Then the Carnifex Screamer Killer consolidates towards the enemy lines, scoring me behind enemy lines. And over here, Cherubel fought back against my Carnifex and didn't do any wounds. And that's the end of Tyranids Turn 3. So not only do I get behind enemy lines, but I also got the objective in the far corner, making it 8 points to 3 in favour of the Tyranids. So I am quite some distance ahead. However, all 5 vehicles will be free to fire this turn, and they are in a target-rich environment. Okay, Death Corp, let's go on a bug hunt. And here are the orders from the Marshal. They want to slay the Witch, who is also my Warlord. Defend Objective 2, and death from afar is not possible this turn. Right, before we begin the movement phase, you roll for Cherubel.
Yep.
He's got a weird psychic power, weird power at the beginning of every movement phase, and you rolled a 4. What does that do?
It's reknit host form, so he regains all his wounds.
All of them?
Absolutely all of them.
Absolutely epic. That demon must die. Right, here we are after the Death Course movement phase, and there's Witch Hunter. So you've moved the Vindicare, who's now got line of sight on him, and it would also be Slay the Warlord. And you've started defending Objective 2 one more time by moving the Hellhound forward, and the company commander, Watchmaster, that dude, he's ran across to join his squad mates. So you should start defending that. You might get Witch Hunter. Now, Death from Afar is use something in your deployment zone to kill something in my deployment zone.
Yeah.
Turns out battle cannons are 70,000 range.
Pretty much.
And you've moved it the full distance. So you won't be firing 2d6, only 1d6, but moved it all the way across.
Well, I'm thinking I'm going to spend 1 CP
Yes.
to allow me to shoot Grinding Advance twice, which is one of the Vigilist detachment
Nice.
stratagems.
So we can fire twice. And it turns out by moving there, you've got line of sight through all the ruin and all the mess into something in my deployment zone. Now you're going to have to get lucky to kill all of them.
For sure.
But if you do, there's another point. And it is 8 points to 3. You need every point you can get a hold of right now. So that's what's happening there. Cherubel, we saw, regained his wounds. What an epic ability. That demon must die. And then, yeah, the castle is pushing out. So let's go on to the psychic phase. Then we moved on to the psychic phase. Eleanor smited the Carnifex, took a couple of wounds off. The other psychic power was blocked. Now we're onto the shooting phase. The Vindicare is loading a shell and aiming at my Warlord. Because he moved, he's hitting on a 3. And it hits. And it is infantry. You will wound on a 2. And it wounds. And it ignores invulnerable saves. And it's AP -3. And my save is normally a 5 up. So I don't get a save. I've got 2 wounds left. D3 damage. And that's Slay the Warlord and Witch Hunter. Good shot. And as that shot rings out across the battlefield, priority threat has been neutralized. Spending a CPU on that stratagem. And you gain 3 back because it was the Warlord. So you were on 3 CPs. You're back up to 5 CPs. Kevin is gone. Witch Hunter is gone. Priority threat neutralized. The core are in the ascendancy here. After the Vindicare fired, this Hellhound melted the Carnifex right in front of him and is now defending that objective one more time. And then this commander unloaded everything into this Carnifex. 1 wound taken off with the plasma and the others. This many with the Gatling Cannon of Doom. 3 up saves. The Carnifex is still on 1 wound. So then pistol fire came into the Carnifex and didn't wound it. So then this tank decided to put his battle cannon into it. His las cannon is going downtown, but the battle cannon has managed to do 1 wound. Because its minus is to hit, so it's because the spore system. But 1 wound got through. 1 5-up save. No, and the Carnifex does get taken out. And let's do the las cannon on camera. Coming up against Carnifex. Hitting on a 4, which misses.
Nice.
And so we have 2 tanks left. We're going with this one, spending the CP to shoot that battle cannon twice. Las cannon, however, is going into this Carnifex with acid spray, which will hit on a 5 because you moved. 4 because you moved.
The last cannon hit on a 5, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It misses. Right, 2d6 with the battle cannon. For 8 shots, that's a healthy number of shots.
Not too bad.
4's to hit with the battle cannon. And that is 5 hits. Now this is strength 8. And I'm toughness 4. So you're wounding on 2s. And that's 5 wounds. And it's AP -2, right? Yeah. But those warriors are in cover, so AP -1. But my save is a 4, becomes a 5, so I need to make a bunch of 5s. I make 1 5, so 4 get through and each do D3 wounds, and these have 3 wounds each. This is from Death from Afar. So the first one is dead. The second one is dead.
Come on!
No, 2 wounds left. Last... Excellent gunnery, excellent gunnery. The warriors are wiped out.
He's getting a promotion.
And so after the hero gunner fires through the ruins and the smoke and destroys the warriors in the backfield, the tank commander took aim at the Tyranids with acid spray and blew it up with ease. And that's the end of your turn.
It is.
That is the end of the turn. Looking across the battle grid, nothing in range, nothing is going to charge. And by slaying the Warlord and Witch Hunter and by getting this unit up here, it's now 8 points to 6. There's only 2 points in it for the Guard. And if they defend this objective at the end of the Tyranid turn, they'll get 2 more points, making it a draw. And I don't think I have anything that can get down there to contest it. So it's 8 points to 6. The Guard are back in this game. I've got 1 massive creature left and 3 units of troops. And they're my only Synapse unit left. This is coming down to a nail biter here, folks. So let's go on to Tyranids turn 4 and see what the card gods say. You've heard of the dice gods. The card gods are a thing, by the way. They're a distant second relative of the dice gods.
Similar to the Emperor's Tarot.
Yes. Let's see what the Emperor's Tarot has. I really want to kill that demon. I don't know if I'll be able to get to it. But let's see what the Emperor's Tarot says in Tyranids turn 4. The card gods heard my prayers. Now, I might be losing the war of attrition, but I may yet win this battle. Area denial, there are no enemy units within 12 inches of the centre. That's D3 points. And no prisoners and overwhelming firepower. Well, just kill stuff with guns. Right, it's 8 points to 6. You'll definitely get 2 points at the end of your turn, making it 8 points to 8. And I've got 4 units left, so I have to get tactical AF. So there's no enemy units within 12 inches of the centre. That's D3. And I can get D3 for no prisoners. And I can get D3 for overwhelming firepower. And then I just need to run and hide. So my last Synapse unit, essentially the Fearless unit, have advanced. Now I'd really like these guns in play. But if I leave them out here, then battle cannons, battle tanks, you've got the relic one that does a flat 3, the other stuff that does D3. These things have a 4-up save with 3. Basically what I'm saying is you're going to murder them. It might not take 1 turn, but you'll murder them. So I need them to hide. They're the last intelligent creature on the table. They came forward, they nommed their way through, and they've decided, nope, let's get out of here. And that's about it, really. Try and duck, try and hide. And hopefully you don't get good orders and good orders and good orders, because the card gods may be kind to you. And you're certainly going to start getting board control. So it's going to be one of those games where I'm probably in the lead. Yep. You're going to be praying for the card gods in turn 6 and turn 7. And if you get it, you'll win. But right now, I need to shoot some guns. So this unit swarming through here needs overwhelming firepower and no prisoners. No prisoners, kill somebody, you get a point. Overwhelming firepower, kill somebody with guns, get a point. There's a unit in cover. So let's fire lots of guns. 14 can see through the gap in the window, spending a command point on take cover. That's very Death Corp of Krieg, you know?
Well, it's actually just going, come on!
Okay, it just so happens that the cover happens to be in front of him. He didn't do it on purpose, because that's not what they're taught in the academy. A 4's to hit, and I dropped one on the ground, so 4s. 6 got through. I am strength 4, your toughness human, wounding on 3s. Oh dear. Ooh. Okay, 5-up save becomes a 4-up save because you're in cover, and a 3-up save because you took cover. There just happens to accidentally be a sandbag in front of him, which he's probably trying to kick over, to be fair. And he falls anyway. And you've got 3 CP left unless you command point reroll that.
I'm going to command point reroll.
Because these guys have got a fire. Yeah? Okay.
Yes.
And he lives. He doesn't get to fulfill the cult of sacrifice and die in the Emperor's name this day. Right, there's a lot of command points to keep one dude alive.
It was frivolous.
Frivolous, but he may yet die, because this unit is going to unload now into these guys here. Not the characters, because they've got many wounds. These guys, these acolytes, have got 1 wound each with a 5-up save, right? Yep. So I'm going to chuck all the guns that I can see into those 2, but one of these little bugs can see this Watchmaster here. So I'll do him last.
Okay.
I'll do him last. That was 9 hits. I should mention I really need overwhelming firepower and no prisoners. I'm putting everything into one of them because they're 2 units, right? Yeah, everything into one guy. Sorry about that, but still toughness 3. So 3's to wound. I only get 4 wounds. 4 wounds, sir. 4 5-up saves. No sandbags in front. Oh, he's dead. Right, so that is 2 points. That'll be overwhelming firepower and no prisoners. I'm not going to get my D3 though, because I'm not killing 3 things in the shooting phase. But I do want to kill this guy for some strange reason. And a miss. 1 minute, I found another gun. How could I forget? I have a Tyrannofex, which stayed still. So 2 shots with its Stinger Salvo are going to punch into this guy here. And then the Rupture Cannon. Can I see him? Yeah, I can. I should really fire at a tank. And not at these 2 units here. That's what I should do. It's very gamey to try and win the game by not... yeah. I should fire at them. That's D3. If I...
Yeah, it's more victory points.
It's more victory points.
No.
It's more... But there's tanks. The narrative player in me wants to shoot... I'm going to shoot the tank. I'm going to shoot that tank.
Fair enough.
I'm shooting that tank instead. I have to. I can't shoot a dude that I can barely see with a Rupture Cannon. It doesn't know. I can hide with some Tyranids. I can string a narrative out for me to say, right, okay, they're intelligent, they're the hive mind, but I can't tell a weapon beast to fire at 1 dude. But I can put 8 shots of a Stinger Salvo into this 1 dude because I am firing twice. And I'm hitting on 4s. Oh dear, that's 7 hits. Strength 5. So I get 6 wounds into the guy that's ducked in cover and they're AP -1.
So 4s.
Back to a 4-up save. And unfortunately he dies to Stinger Salvo fire. And finally gets to go to Death Corp of Krieg Heaven.
He does.
He died the noble sacrifice. Well done. Right, 6 shots down here with the Rupture Cannon, hitting on 4s, only 2 hits. It is strength 10, however. And I wound both times and it's AP -3.
So 6s.
And you make 1. D6 damage. For 5 damage, it's down to 6 left. And so at the end of that turn, you get 2 points for that. So it's 8-8. I get a point for no prisoners and overwhelming firepower, 10-8. Plus D3 for area denial.
Yeah.
So 10-8 plus the big 3. It's 13 points to 8 as we go to Death Corp, turn 4. Here are the orders for the guard. They want to take this battlefield, defend 1, defend 3, and secure objective 2. End of turn 4 movement for the Death Corps, and they move forward to take this battle grid. They're not going to be defending this objective up here, that's number 3. But Eleanor and her coterie are defending this objective here. And the Warlord is securing that objective there. The Hellhound moving forward, it's going to be crispy fried time on some bugs. They're out of synapse range, which is 12 inches. So, and the leadership 5. So you burn away a bunch of them, the rest are going to run. This tank commander moved the full distance. I don't think there's going to be very many left for the morale phase. This tank had to move a little bit as well because it couldn't see, but now it can see. The one at the back can see over the top. And of course, all of those tanks can definitely see this weapon beast here. So cry havoc and let's slip the guns of war. And then when the guns fall silent and the smoke clears, that unit of termagants had been entirely wiped out, and then after you had that glorious round of shooting, the rest of the shots didn't fare so well. Lots of shots slammed into these termagants, but either failed to hit or failed to wound. Essentially, I think I lost 6 or 7 in the end, but they're still there, and that's after morale as well. And then a couple of las cannon shots and battle cannons came into the weapon beast, my T-Fex. And he's big, he's tough, he's angry, and he's still there with 10 wounds left. And that's the end of your turn. It was 13 points to 8. You have this objective. It's 13 points to 9. You are defending objective 1 as we go to Tyranids turn 5. Here are my orders. Devour. I just need to kill something in the fight phase. Decapitate, kill a character, and mission critical objective number 2. I can't get that one. Character's going to be tough. Kill something in the fight phase with termagants. That's going to be tough as well. 13 points to 9. By the skin of my teeth, I'm hanging in there. 3 units left. And I've stopped you defending this objective this turn. You need it to go on to turn 6 because these are troops. And I've piled onto that objective there. So you're no longer defending it. I score it because troops have OBSEC. And then they fired and then they didn't do any damage. And you are going to get that. No, you scored that. This is the defend one. Right, okay. So I now need to kill a character. There's a demon There's a demon right there, Cherubble, and I have a weapon beast, which is closest to that character. I'm going to shoot him.
Go for it.
Suffer the demon not to live. I do this in the name of the Holy Inquisition by killing a demon controlled by the Holy Inquisition. These are the Stinger Salvos. I need 5s to wound because it's toughness 6. I get 3 wounds through, but you have a 4-up invulnerable save. And you make them all die demon. Come on now. 6 shots with the Rupture Cannon of Doom, hitting on 4s. 4 hits. Strength 10, toughness 6. 3 wounds, 3 4-up invulnerable saves, and you fail 1. This does 2d6 damage. 2. Oh yeah, you failed 2. 2d6 damage, you have 2 command points left. Do you want a command point reroll, or are you happy for me to do 2d6 damage?
Command point reroll.
Yeah, you sure? Hashtag don't listen to winner. Okay, that's 1 command point left. 2d6 damage. I have no command points left. And the demon is dead. No. And so it's 14 points to 9 for killing that character. I'm not going to charge here. There really is no point. I might hurt you, but these guys are hitting on 4. I'm not going to bother. There's 14 points to 9. That's the end of my turn. We're going to go on to the guard, turn 5. Hopefully the orders that come down are good and get you many, many command points, or have they left it too little, too late? Let's find out. So we go on to guard. Turn 5. So the Death Corp and Inquisitor Eleanor still want to defend 1. And the Death Corp really want to kill stuff. Overkill, kill something with a tank, no prisoners, just kill anything. Here we are part way into the shooting phase after the movement phase. You're defending that objective one more time and you have achieved overkill and no prisoners. The Hellhound and the Punisher tank just wiped out that squad of Hormagaunts there. So there's 2 points. And you've still got 2 tanks down there that can fire. The Vindicator's fired and a couple of shots went into this Tyrannifex. It's down to 5 wounds left. Oh no, you've got 3 tanks left. 3 tanks left. And the tabling could be on here. So we're going to continue filming because this Tyrannifex is down to 5 wounds left. And it turns out there's a hole in this window here. Which means the warriors are in trouble. Because this tank over here can see through the window. Yeah. So what are we firing first, sir?
Let's do the regular Lehman Russ.
Into the Tyrannifex?
Yeah.
Okay, and this one stays still. So force to hit. And this is the last cannon which hits and wounds on a 3. And it wounds. I need a 6. I get the 6. Okay, so 2d6 shots with the battle cannon for 9. Hitting on 4s. And then wounding on 4s. And that was pretty good. That was 5 hits. So, force to wound. Only 2 wounds. At -2. I don't make either of the saves. This is 2d3 damage. You could kill it. It's on 5 wounds left. And you do kill it. And it doesn't go nuts. But that's the Tyrannifex wiped out, which leaves 1 unit left alive, and there is 1 tank which can see them. Yeah. So, let's fire the las cannon. And this is the company commander, right?
No, because the company commander's down here.
Okay.
I don't think he's got line of sight into that hole, so it'll just be this one.
Just this one. Okay, las cannon, which misses.
No. And then the battle cannon shots.
9 shots. 4s to hit. And that was 5 hits. Now you need 2s to wound. And that's only 3 wounds. It's AP -2, but I am in cover. So it's AP -1 against my 4-up save. And I make 1. So you're going to do D3, then D3 on the warriors. So 1's alive still, and then the second shot will kill a warrior. And they're synapse, so they don't need to take morale, and that's the end of your phase.
I've still got the...
Oh yeah, these guys, they can fire through the windows, because it's 18-inch range. We got down and had a good look before. There was 3 that couldn't fire, and then the rest could fire.
Yeah.
Grenadiers hit on 3s.
Yep.
And
that's
two 2 hits. Winning on 5s, but it's hot shot.
-2.
And that is a save, so you wing one of them. And so that's the end of turn 5, and I have 1 unit left as the tanks and the flamers, and this thing is going to be able to move around and flame into them next turn. I don't think I'm going to be able to hide because it like moves 12 and the rangers. Stupid. Next turn I'm going to be in trouble if it goes to next turn. Right now it's 14-11 and you're defending that objective there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm winning somehow with 1 unit. Now the player who went first rolls a dice, and on a 1-2 this game ends. And that was me. So let's see what happens. This is the way the world ends. So somehow, some way, that was a victory for the Tyranids, but I tell you what, it doesn't feel like a victory to me. It doesn't feel like a victory to me. I can't even see how that could be considered a victory for the Tyranids. Maybe they were drawn here by the demon host, the smell of the demon spore, and they just wanted to get rid of it because they feared a demonic infest. I don't know. They came to this ruined industrial wasteland and tried to clear away as much as possible. But let's face it, if it went on infinite turns, the Death Corp of Krieg really won this day. The card gods were kind to me.
I know, you did well.
I'm lucky. If I hadn't got that 1-2 at the end, this tank would have moved round, flamed through. I could have run off, but I can't really run that way or that way. And as soon as I break cover here, the battle cannons from the other Lehman Russ tanks would have opened fire and just annihilated them. I'd have had to have ducked and cover and hoped that that tank couldn't have killed them all. And that was fluky in the end. I feel a little bit dirty. But not as dirty as an Imperium player that plays with demons, my friend.
What do you mean?
So how do you think
he's sanctioned? He's allowed.
He's a sanctioned demon. I've heard of sanctioned psychers, but sanctioned demons. The Inquisition, though, yeah? Anything it takes, whatever it takes to destroy the enemies of man. And
exactly.
So how do you think it went?
No, it was good. It was very close. You were pretty much leading ahead for most of the way, and I was just playing catch up, basically.
And I came crashing forward and just bounced. I bounced. Kevin bounced. The Gene Stealers bounced. The Brutal. I mean, they killed what they touched, but then you annihilated them.
Yes, I think I did well to have the Lehman Russes hanging as far back as possible, because them still being able to shoot is what was doing the work by the end.
Yeah. They were mopping up for you. I thought at the beginning with this table quarters with Spearhead Assault, I thought, oh, you're in trouble. But I think maybe the Spearhead Assault is what kept you alive.
Yeah.
Because I could have attacked on... essentially what happened was I had to hit one front, and if we were spread along like a normal deployment, I might have been able to hit with 2. I might have had the Broodlord and Kevin and the Gene Stealers hit one flank, and then swing in with the Warriors and the Hive Crone or Harpy, forget the name, into another flank. And I forgot a model. The Morlock.
Yes.
The Morlock never came up in turn 3. I still won the game anyway, but I can imagine... I mean, what is this? This is ceramite steel flooring there. It tried to bang its way up from underground. And maybe the Death Corp of Krieg, who, let's face it, these guys are expert tunnelers and siege warfares, probably mined any available... That's what we'll say. Under here, there's loads of tunnels and stuff, but they mined the crap out of it, and the Morlock was ability to make it and just got blown up. And meanwhile, up here somewhere, a Death Corp of Krieg guy was just laughing, going, hee hee hee. My mines went off, the trip bombs went off, it's gone.
Did his job.
Yeah, so thanks for coming down. That was a really fun game. I didn't know which way it was going to go. I was hanging on by my fingernails at the end. So your YouTube and Twitchy thing and everything is what again?
It's Beyond the Tabletop.
Beyond the Tabletop, guys. Check out Beyond the Tabletop and look out Sir 40k. This battle map brought to you by GameMat.eu, along with all the terrain and scenery. If you want to support me, if you want to help me create more content, then please subscribe to DeploymentZone.tv, and thank you for all of you Deployment Zone people who are out there. I hope you enjoyed that battle report. Happy wargaming.